The 5 Hidden Lessons of 2025. Applied Wisdom for a Chaotic World. Rather than offering control over chaos, these lessons show how awareness guides us forward with clarity. They call us to embrace uncertainty, reclaim our attention, slow down for meaning, restore inner authority, and cultivate a quiet, resilient coherence within ourselves. The year is trial. The world will ask you who you are, and if you do not know, the world will tell you. Carl Jung. I did not experience 2025 as a year. I experienced it as a series of quiet confrontations. Moments where the familiar fell away, not violently, but subtly, like a system update running in the background of consciousness. The world did not collapse. It recalibrated. And in doing so, it asked a question it has always asked humanity during periods of acceleration. Who are you when certainty dissolves? Psychologically, the mind seeks stability. Neuroscience tells us that predictability lowers cognitive load, conserves energy, creates safety. But philosophically, history shows us something more unsettling. Stability often precedes stagnation. Growth does not announce itself as comfort. It arrives disguised as disruption. 2025 was not chaos for its own sake. It was a diagnostic environment, a stress test for identity. And many of us discovered that what we thought was self was merely routine wearing a human face. The collapse of false certainty. There are no facts, only interpretations. Friedrich Nietzsche. Certainty used to feel like truth. Now it feels like an addiction. I watched information accelerate beyond wisdom. Data multiplied while meaning thinned. Algorithms fed us confidence without context, certainty without humility. Psychologically, this triggers what cognitive scientists call illusory truth bias, repetition masquerading as reality. But beneath the surface, something deeper was happening. The universe itself does not operate on certainty. Quantum mechanics whispers probability. Cosmology speaks in margins of error. Even time, once thought absolute, bends under observation. And yet, the human mind, fragile, pattern-seeking, still clings to absolutes as if they were oxygen. 2025 stripped that illusion. Not to leave us empty, but to make room. Certainty is efficient, but uncertainty is fertile. The battle for attention. My experience is what I agree to attend to. William James. Attention became the true currency of 2025. Neuroscience tells us the brain is not designed for infinite stimuli. Dopamine systems evolved for scarcity, not saturation. When overwhelmed, the psyche fragments. Presence thins. Meaning dissolves into noise. I felt it in myself, the quiet anxiety of being everywhere and nowhere at once. 1,000 open windows, none of them home. Philosophically, attention is not passive. It is an act of devotion. What we attend to, we become. And yet, in the digital age, attention is continuously extracted, optimized, monetized, weaponized. The hidden lesson was not productivity. It was reclamation. To choose silence in a world engineered for distraction is no longer a luxury. It is a form of resistance, a declaration of sovereignty over the inner cosmos. The illusion of speed. The faster you go, the narrower you become. Alan Watts. Everything moved faster in 2025, except understanding. Technology promised efficiency. But psychologically, speed often bypasses integration. The nervous system needs rhythm, not velocity. Without pause, insight cannot settle. Without stillness, awareness remains shallow. Cosmically, the universe itself expands, but slowly. Galaxies drift apart at a pace measured not in seconds, but in epochs. Creation is not rushed. Only humans behave as though arrival is more important than alignment. I learned that slowness is not regression. It is resolution. Wisdom does not arrive at the speed of data. It arrives at the speed of honesty. The return of inner authority. Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose. Viktor Frankl. 2025 quietly exposed how much of our thinking had been outsourced. Opinions pre-assembled. Morality crowdsourced. Identity curated for approval rather than coherence. Psychologically, this erodes agency. Philosophically, it fractures authenticity. But pressure reveals structure. As external narratives grew louder, an ancient faculty reawakened, inner authority. Not arrogance, not certainty, but grounded discernment. The ability to pause, to feel, to respond rather than react. This is not mystical. It is neurological. The prefrontal cortex, seat of reflection, only activates when we slow down enough to engage it. Freedom, it turns out, is a tempo. The test of resilience. The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. Carl Rogers. Resilience was not heroic in 2025. It was quiet. Psychologically, resilience is not toughness. It is flexibility, the nervous system's capacity to bend without breaking. Trauma research shows that meaning-making, not avoidance, determines recovery. Philosophically, resilience is acceptance without resignation. To stand within uncertainty without demanding it resolve itself on your schedule. I stopped asking, when will this end? And started asking, what is this shaping in me? The universe does not waste pressure. Neither should we. The shadow of identity. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light. but by making the darkness conscious. Carl Jung. 2025 did not just test systems. It tested selves. The identities we performed, professional, social, digital, began to crack. Not because they were false, but because they were incomplete. Psychologically, repression does not eliminate shadow. It strengthens it. Philosophically, growth requires descent. Not into despair, but into honesty. To see the parts of ourselves shaped by fear, approval, or survival, and not flinch. I realized the chaos outside mirrored the fragmentation within. Integration is not becoming someone new. It is reclaiming what was exiled. The science of meaning. The most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible. Albert Einstein. Meaning is not imposed on the universe. It emerges through relationship. Physics shows us a participatory cosmos. Observation alters outcome. Consciousness is not separate from reality. It is woven into it. Likewise, psychologically, meaning is not found. It is constructed through engagement. 2025 revealed that nihilism is not wisdom, it is fatigue. Meaning does not require certainty, only participation. When we stop asking what is the point, and start asking how am I in relation to this, the universe responds. The quiet revolution. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Krishnamurti. The most radical act of 2025 was not rebellion. It was restraint. Choosing fewer opinions, fewer performances, fewer compulsions. Psychologically, this recalibrates the nervous system. Philosophically, it restores dignity. Silence is not emptiness, it is unoccupied awareness. In that space, something ancient returns, clarity without force, direction without noise. The reframing of success. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. Joseph Campbell. Success was exposed as a miscalculation. Metrics without meaning. Achievement without integration. The psyche knows when the soul is being traded for symbols. 2025 taught that success is not expansion outward, but coherence inward. When thought, action, and value align, friction dissolves. The universe favors symmetry. So does the self. Applied wisdom. Thought is a system. David Bohm. Wisdom is not abstraction. It is application. The lesson of 2025 was not philosophical. It was practical. Attention, pace, integrity, silence, meaning. These are not ideals. They are operating principles. Psychologically, habits shape perception. Philosophically, perception shapes reality. Applied wisdom is not dramatic. It is consistent. The ongoing becoming? We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Carl Sagan. 2025 did not end with answers. It ended with orientation. A subtle recalibration toward depth, presence, and conscious participation. The realization that chaos is not the enemy. Unconsciousness is. As I stand here now, I no longer ask what the future holds. I ask what kind of awareness I will bring into it. Because the universe is not finished, and neither are we. This is Cosmic Reflections, where philosophy, science, and spirit converge to explore consciousness, the universe, and the hidden architecture of being. Thanks for your time. It's been a delight. What should we explore next? Comment, share, and save your insight. Subscribe to Orbital Reads and keep your thoughts bright.